Hey, well, welcome everybody. Welcome to another edition of Labor Live at 5. I'm your host, Rick Levy. Looks like Leonard Aguilar is not with us. I think he's probably over at the Capitol doing something this afternoon, but we do have a very special guest, Emily Timm with the Workers Defense Project. She's the co-founder and the co-executive director. Welcome, Miss M. We are very excited to have you here.
Thanks, Mr. President. It's great to see you guys at Live at 5.
There you go. So before we get to the subject matter at hand, I got to vent for 1 minute, if you'll allow me to.
Go for it.
Today, your governor announced that he was going to not release the $300 million that is the federal funds came down for expansion of unemployment because too many workers are just sitting around collecting unemployment and not going to work. So that's literally $300 million that are being stripped out of the pockets of Texas workers because this governor is so out of touch with the needs of working people. Folks, this is not normal. This is not something that's acceptable. We got to have something to say about this in 2022 because I am tired of a governor that is so detached from where people live and what people are doing, and so being such a slave to these right-wing ideologues. It's just, I see you see it, right, Ms. M? I mean, it's like, what kind of person makes a decision to take $300 million in unemployment benefits away from Texans in this environment?
I mean, I couldn't agree more. Someone who's incredibly out of touch and just really doesn't know what working folks are facing.
So, well, all right. Thank you for letting me get that off my chest. I've been dealing with it all afternoon, and I just can't get to a point where I can't get to a point where I can even think about it. So anyway, Emily, welcome. Now, Workers Defense, tell us a little bit about Workers Defense so folks can know who we're talking to here.
All right. So Workers Defense Project, we are longtime friends of the Texas AFL-CIO and proud to be affiliates of our local labor councils in Austin and Dallas and Houston. And we are a worker center. So we're a organization that works with low-wage workers. We primarily work with workers in the construction industry, and many of our members are immigrant workers and come from a wide array of backgrounds in low-wage sectors. But we do have a specific focus on construction and have gotten to work closely with our building trades friends.
Yeah, so don't gloss over the fact of our long relationship because we've kind of been walking down this road for how long? How long has Workers Defense been around?
So we've been around for a little over 15 years. I believe I've known you, Mr. Levy, from the very beginning.
Yes.
And I should have mentioned, we're a membership-based organization. Our members, much like our union brothers and sisters, have voice and vote in our organization, serve on our board of directors, and lead our campaigns. So we have a lot of things in common and appreciate the partnership that we have had over the years.
Well, y'all have worked so hard to develop those relationships and be connected to the labor movement. And I'm really proud that you're actually a formal affiliate of the AFL-CIO in Texas. And I think that's really a tribute to the work that you and your staff have done to kind of recognize that we're much stronger together, and just really proud of that whole relationship and what you do offer all over the state. So.
We appreciate that, and we're proud to be in the fight for working families together with you guys.
Yeah. So, we've been fighting this legislative session together on a bunch of stuff, and you guys have a really amazing action coming up tomorrow. And I just wanted to make sure that folks had the opportunity to learn about it and hear about what the issue is. I see Dallas is on board here today. A lot of what we're talking about comes out of Dallas. So, can you give us a little sense of what's going on and why?
Definitely. So we will be taking action at the Capitol tomorrow. We are calling attention, and it's a call to action to try to stop SB 14, which is a bill that will strip away the ability of local cities to pass worker protections, including something as basic as rest breaks for construction workers. And so what Rick's referring to is our members have been able to lead campaigns in Austin and in Dallas to win a right to a rest break, which you don't have under Texas law or federal law,
Right.
just as a reminder, to win a right to rest rest break of 10 minutes for every 4 hours of work. So such a basic but life-saving protection for hundreds of thousands of workers in Austin and Dallas. And the Texas legislature with SB 14 is trying to take away that basic protection that workers have enjoyed in Austin since 2010 and in Dallas since 2015.
I mean, what's going on here? I mean, that just seems like such a basic human right, as you reflected. I mean, what's really going on?
Well, we really think it's about trying to corporate power and trying to take away the power that workers have to be able to work with local elected officials to figure out what's really needed at the local level to protect the workforce. And so we're fighting to defeat SB 14 in order to ensure that local communities can figure out what local solutions are needed to keep their workforce safe and protected, and to ensure that people have have such a basic right to a rest break, among other things.
And I know when you say among other things, I know y'all are focused on the rest breaks because, I mean, that was really hard fought, those victories. I mean, you would think, I remember, wasn't it the city councilman in Dallas calling, what did he say when y'all were trying to get this passed? Just some of the resistance that you faced about, if, maybe you should just do some easier work or something like that if you got to have a rest break or something like that.
Probably I think there was a council member who basically told us that if workers had employers that didn't give them rest breaks, they should just go look for a job somewhere else. Like it's easy to pick up and move to another job when you're already just living paycheck to paycheck in a low wage sector. You can just pick up and find a better job any old day. So again, the elected officials who are totally out of touch with working people.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but it also affects other things. And I know y'all are focused on the rest breaks, but in Austin, they've passed a fair chance hiring where people an employer can't ask about your criminal record until they get to the point of actually offering you the job. Whether it's scheduling ordinances or anything that has to do with the workplace, this bill would tie the hands of local government to be able to make any difference in working people's lives. And so it's a really broad power grab. And unfortunately, it's your members and our members that are going to feel the sting.
That's absolutely right. And it takes away not only rest breaks, like you said, but also things as simple as, safety trainings or just other workplace standards, and takes away not only these past policies that communities and that workers have fought to win, but also would prohibit cities from doing anything in the future to address future problems that arise. And with something as basic as rest breaks, we also know that we're facing increasingly hot temperatures every summer, that workers who work outdoors are at increasing risk to be able to keep themselves safe on the job, and to have access to just be able to stop, to take a drink, get out of the sun, be in the shade. And these are things that there's going to be an increasing need for, and cities are going to have their hands tied and just not be able to do anything about it as people become sick and even die. Yeah.
So tell us about this thirst strike. How is that going to happen? What's going to happen? Tell us about tomorrow.
Great. So we'll be at 10 a.m. We'll be doing a press conference on the south steps of the Capitol. The thirst strike will begin at 11 a.m. And so we'll be having a series of speakers, including some of our friends from labor and other allies. And then we'll actually have a group of people who are participating in the thirst strike. You may have heard of hunger strikes. Thirst strike is a similar concept. The idea is to make the point of what it's like to go without drinking water, something that construction workers and other low-wage workers, especially outdoor workers, are forced to face when they don't have a basic right to rest. And so we'll have a group of folks who will be taking part in a symbolic action to not drink water for a set period of time. We'll just be, because it is a real safety hazard. We will be doing that for about a 4-hour period of time, and ask people to come and join us either in the symbolic action, or also we'll be doing visits to legislators' offices. And so would welcome folks to come out and join us.
That's awesome. So it'll be such a visual thing it's very graphic and it's very creative. It's very cool to bring that, actually, as they're pondering this, legislation from the cool of their legislative offices, surrounded by lobbyist catered food and all that kind of stuff, that you'll be there saying, we want you to remember what this is really like. Well, certainly we'll be there. Folks who are in Austin can come, but if people want to follow along, or people want to show their support that aren't in Austin, because I don't know if you know this or not, Em, because I didn't want to make you nervous, okay? But like, we have worldwide reach on this program. I mean, the interwebs go all over this world, and so if somebody was watching this and wants to weigh in and kind of add their voice to what you're doing, how do they go ahead and do that?
We will be broadcasting live at 11 a.m. on Facebook Live, so you can join us there. We also have a petition, and you can send letters, sign on and send letters directly to your legislators. We're also asking folks to make phone calls. They need to hear from you. This bill could be on the House floor anytime in the next week or so, and legislators from all over the state need to hear from you and need to hear that you are completely opposed to SB 14 and that you're urging them to vote it down. So there's lots of ways to support, even if you can't be with us in person, whether you're in Texas or on the other side of the world. There's a lot to do, and we're calling for everyone to come out and throw down to fight to defend these worker protections.
Yeah, and for those of you who are watching, in the comments, Mark Maldonado, who we always have to honor with the work he does to bring us this technological event of Labor Live at 5, has posted the link. So all you got to do is click on it and sign your name. It's pretty easy to do, and it's something that we would really encourage all of y'all to do. And don't just do it yourself, but send it to your friends, send it to your coworkers, send it through your networks, because the more these folks hear from you, the more likely they are to be aware of our concerns. Emily, the event is a really cool one. It echoes for me the events that Workers Defense has had during past legislative sessions, where we would march to honor the fallen. And I know that y'all had the cool Memorial Day exhibit, Workers Memorial Day exhibit. But I guess the idea of like really bringing the struggles that your members face directly to the legislators is a really important piece of your power in that building. And I just want to honor that, and just see if you had any reflections about how you come to do that and how your members come to do that.
Well, we're really excited. As an organization, our members are really the ones who determine what our campaigns are. They're the ones who identified rest breaks as a problem on the construction sites back over 10 years ago, when we first we did our first strike at Austin City Hall, outside of Austin City Hall, in July. And they're the ones who have led that campaign, led that action, and then also led the fight for rest breaks in Dallas. And now they'll be joining us from across the state tomorrow to make sure that their voices are heard, that legislators can't sit comfortably in their air-conditioned offices with their catered meals and just pretend that the challenges that construction workers face across the state of Texas are just not happening. So we want to make sure that our members' voices are heard, and that this is that there's accountability, that legislators can't just be comfortable and be able to look away if they don't want to see what working people are facing.
There you go. I love that. Not being able to look away in their own comfort and not realize what we're facing. So thank you, Ms. M. This is a great action. Look forward to participating. I have to say I'm a little disappointed in that you threatened that at some point we might be visited by two young offspring of Emily's charging through into the Zoom, and we didn't get that. I was thinking about filibustering in the hope that it might happen, but anyway, thank you so much for taking time and joining us, and thanks for leading this work. And we'll definitely see you tomorrow as we come out to fight SB 14 and everything about it. Okay. Any closing remarks you want to make?
No, just that, pues, estamos en la lucha, and we are, here together in this fight, and we are just grateful for our friends in labor, and we look forward to seeing you all out there. And I know together we can defeat this bill. So I hope to see everyone out there tomorrow.
Let's go. All right. Well, thanks, Emily. Take care.
Take care.